Hello everyone. Welcome to our brand new channel, Historiography. Here we will discuss interesting anecdotes and stories from the yesteryears based on facts and contemporary evidences. Let's begin. Today's episode is about 10 things you probably don't know about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Number 10. Shivaji Maharaj was a great archer. We get this information from Shiva Bharat, which was written by Paramananda Govinda Nevaskar, a renowned scholar from Shivaji's council. Shiva Bharat gives us an authentic account of the Battle of Umbarkhand. The Mughal commander Kartalab Khan was attempting to raid Shivaji's territory in Konkan. He was ambushed and made to surrender in the harsh terrains of Umbarkhand. The author of Shiva Bharat, Kavindra Paramanand, gives a first-hand description of Shivaji Maharaj during this battle. He describes Shivaji Maharaj sitting on a white stallion. He is wearing white silk clothing which has shades of saffron sprinkled on it. Here he describes that the horse's saddle has quivers on both sides which contain bows and arrows. There is another contemporary evidence that also talks about Shivaji being an archer, the Shiva Digvijay Bakhar, an account written on Shivaji's life which talks about the training Shivaji underwent as a child. The list contains references to wrestling, politics, but this list also contains an important item, archery. Thus, it proves that Shivaji Maharaj indeed was a great archer. Number 9. Shivaji Maharaj was the sixth child. Shiva Bharat also gives us an authentic account of the background to Shivaji's birth in his biography. Paramananda describes that Shahaji and Jijabai were blessed with 6 children. Eldest of them, Sambhaji, was possibly betrayed and killed by Afzal Khan at the siege of Fort Kanakgiri. The 4 children born after that did not survive. Then came the time, and with time came the man. Shivaji Maharaj, who was born on 19th February 1630 per the Julian calendar, which converts to 1st March 1630 as per today's Gregorian calendar. Jijabai nurtured the seeds of freedom in Shivaji and guided him to become the king of a sovereign and a free state. Number 8. The Portuguese helped build Shivaji Maharaj's navy. Shivaji Maharaj is widely regarded for his resurrection of the Indian Navy. Around year 1656-57, when Shivaji conquered the fort of Belapur, he decided to build his own navy. 2 Portuguese men primarily assisted him in building his navy, Rui Viegas and Fernão Viegas. This duo of father and son helped him to build his navy, in which he distinctly built his ships, which were then known as Sangamiri or Sangameshwari. Later, these ships proved to be the deciding factor in the Battle of Khanderi. Number 7. There is a biography written by his order. Shivaji Maharaj was a visionary. He encouraged his councilmen to compose different books during his tenure. One of it was his own biography, which gives us the first-hand information of his conquest to power and his victories against the invading forces in the Deccan. It is known as Shiva Bharat or the Anupuran, which was written by Paramananda Govinda Nevaskar. Paramananda was an important man. There are references of him being present with Shivaji Maharaj when he visited Agra. This book Shiva Bharat has 31 completed chapters and 9 verses from the 32nd chapter. It has remained incomplete. There is a speculation that perhaps Kavindra Paramananda might have died before he could complete his own work. Number 6. Shivaji Maharaj offered 100,000 flowers at the temple on the fort of Panhala. Shivaji Maharaj offered 100,000 frangipani, or commonly known as Tsafa flowers, to the Lord Someshwar after conquering the fort of Panhala. Panhala was an important and strategically well-placed fort in Deccan. It lied on the borders of the Maratha and Adil Shahi territories. This important fort was captured by a brave soldier named Kondaji Farzan, who along with his 60 men raided the fort at night and captured it. When Shivaji Maharaj came to know about this victory, he rushed to the fort of Panhala and excitedly visited the entire fort at night in the light of torches and hilals. There is a centuries-old temple with a great significance atop the fort near the lake, where Shivaji Maharaj offered 100,000 flowers. Contemporary poet Jairam Pinde, who has authored the authentic account of conquering of this fort, gives us the information in his work Parnal Parvat Grahanakyan. Number 5. Afzal Khan was killed by a sword and not the tiger claws as per official biography. Yes, to many's surprise this is a true fact, as recorded in the Shiva Bharat. Afzal Khan, the Bijapur general, met at the base of the fort of Pratapgarh and was killed in the duel that took place. Many books and accounts differ in mentioning the way by which Afzal Khan was killed by Shivaji Maharaj. Some mention tiger claws, commonly known as wagnaks, while some mention about a concealed dagger, the bichua. Matter of the fact is that Shivaji Maharaj killed Afzal Khan with a sword. The official biography states it. There is a verse in Shiva Bharat which explains this fact. It says, Shivaha kripani kagrena kukshave tamasprishat akrushantrani sarvani sakrupani vinirgataha, which means that the sword went in his stomach and came out taking his intestines. There's another contemporary evidence that talks about this incident and mentions that Shivaji used a small sword. Pratap Durga Mahatmya, a book written about the goddess on the fort of Pratapgarh, talks about the use of a small weapon referred to as asit, which translates to a sword or a small sword. Number 4. He ordered for the creation of a thesaurus. Shivaji Maharaj was a visionary. He knew the importance that a language has on the culture of the kingdom. When he came into power, much of the daily duties and work was performed in the adapted languages which came along with the invaders. The languages like Urdu and Persian had been in use for centuries in the office work. Shivaji Maharaj not only did free his motherland but also insisted on the use of the language of the land, which was Marathi. He ordered one of his ministers, Raghunath Narayan Handmante, to work on a thesaurus, which would comprise of the native words as alternatives to the words which have been borrowed from foreign languages. He insisted on using these words from the Sanskrit language. Raghunath Pandit was the one who helped him, along with his subordinates Dhundiraj Lakshman Vyas, to construct the Rajkosh or the Rajya Vyavhar Kosh. It has 10 subtopics and covers hundreds of alternate words to the words which were then in use. Number 3. His birthplace Shivneri was never conquered during his lifetime. Shivneri is an important fort which lies in the Junnar region of Maharashtra. Shivaji Maharaj was born on this fort in 1630, but even after multiple attempts, could not capture the fort of Shivneri. It took another 77 years for the fort to gain freedom, when Nana Sahib Peshwa ordered Dhondiba Anant and Maloji Muthe to capture the fort. Maloji Muthe then tried to bribe the officer in charge of the fort, Abdul Alam Khan, which later resulted in a small skirmish which the Marathas won decisively and thus captured the fort of Shivneri. Number 2. He started his own calendar, named after his coronation. Starting a calendar from the beginning of one's reign was a common thing to do during the medieval era. Shivaji Maharaj was coronated on 6th June 1674 by the Julian calendar. He too started a native Rajyabhishek Shak calendar, which was henceforth to be used in the kingdom. The important thing about this calendar was that it was not named after any king or dynasty, but was named after the auspicious incident that had taken place to end the centuries of oppressed rule, the Rajyabhishek or coronation. Being the determined king that he was, he ensured that the new calendar was used for making notes and writing letters during his lifetime. The practice though seems to have stopped later during his son's reign. It was merely left to be used with the orders from the king and the king's men, the renewal letters, later in the Peshwa era. It existed on paper until the reign of Chhatrapati Pratap Singh around 1818 and then was lost in time. Number 1. He conquered 260 forts in 8 years. This is the most astonishing feat about this great king, and though is very less known. On 4th of February 1670, when Shivaji Maharaj disregarded the Treaty of Purandar with the Mughals and opened a war, Tanaji Malusare attacked and conquered the fort of Sinhagad by sacrificing his life. What followed was a war of 37 years. In the immediate aftermath, Prataprao Gujar and Moropant Pingle attacked and captured the forts of Salher and Ahivantagad. This series of raiding and capturing forts under the Mughal command continued for the next 10 years of Shivaji's life, during which he planned and executed an important expedition in the south which resulted in capturing southern strongholds like Belgaum, Vellore and Bhuvangiri, and the all-important fort of Jinji, which served as a shelter for Rajaram Maharaj during the war with the Mughals. In all, Shivaji Maharaj captured 260 forts during a period of 8 years between 1670 and 1678. We hope you liked the video. Do leave a thumbs up and share this channel with your friends. You are watching Historiography.